found Twitch, the pulse of the video game revolution. On this Twitch, visit the future of starving planet Earth in Iron Rain. Take a run around the bases with Frank Thomas's Big Herd Baseball for the Genesis.
We're going to show you how to get 50 lives and no barrels in Donkey Kong Country 2.
We'll be giving the TV golf peripheral for Super Nintendo a swing.
And we're going to give you our expert opinion on Starblade Alpha.
Oh yeah, we're going to check you with Cartoon Baby-Rama EM Flux. I'm going to try and get a real job, and we're going to see what it takes to be a video game testing. Oh, that's game tester, sorry.
Our featured game is Namco Starblade Alpha. First up, Adventure. Let's Twitch!
Let's Twitch. Twitch! Twitch!
I don't know about you, but I'm having a tough time finding good new games for Genesis or Super NES, so it's time to give thanks. I never thought I'd say this. Give thanks for Donkey Kong. In Donkey Kong Country 2, old Donk gets monk napped, and it's up to Diddy Kong and his good friend Dixie Kong, she's new, to find and free their old pal. They've got some new moves to get them past the gazillion monsters they meet and the many lands they lope through. There are offensive powers, Diddy's cartwheel, which also helps him jump farther. And I like Dixie's helicopter spin, which lets her drift softly to the ground below and attack enemies as she scampers along. The duo can also partner up for added advantage and toss the other to higher reaches. As in the first DKC adventure, there are still one-ups to be had by grabbing bananas and balloons, and coins to get to other sections of the game. And the letters K, O, N, and G still spell Kong to give you a free life, too. And like the other Donkey Kongs, Diddy's Conquest offers hours of action, with tons of puzzles and enemy battles in store. Oh yeah, one of the things I liked in the game, they added a 2-player mode so you can compete with a friend. There's great graphics here, and the music's kinda catchy. If you're a hop and bop fanatic like the millions who picked up Donkey Kong Country, you'll flip over Diddy's Conquest. It might be one of the last good adventures for 16-bit video games.
Here's a cheat that should help you get 50 extra lives and no barrels in Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo.
Start a new game. At the player select screen, highlight the 2-player option. Then hit down 5 times. Music test will appear.
To get 50 additional lives, highlight Music Test and press down 5 times. You should see a new option appear which is called Cheat Mode. Then hit YA, select A, down left, A down. You should hear monkeys make noise.
For gamers who are looking for an even bigger challenge, at the cheat mode, hit BA, right right, A left, AX. This will eliminate all of the Donkey Kong barrels in the game. No Donkey Kong barrels means you're on your own.
Sim!
Welcome to a dark future where pollution has devastated the Earth and 4 remaining superpowers battle for control of the world's food supply. It's the 21st century, and you are a pilot of the high-max MDM combat mech. Your mission is simple: destroy everything that moves. First, take advantage of the exercise option. This will help you become familiar with the controls and features of your mech without putting you in danger. The jump jets will allow you to launch yourself into the air for a bird's eye view of the battlefield. Your mech also comes equipped with heavy weaponry, but keep your eyes on the ammo and mech status readouts. If you run out of ammunition or take too much damage, you're as good as dead. So keep your eyes peeled for the supply helicopter. You'll be able to get your ammo replenished, and the longer you stay, the more repairs they'll be able to do on your machine. The graphics are detailed, from the many different terrains on which you wage your battles to the enemies and allies you see from your view screen. If you find yourself blasting away at a comrade, it won't be because you couldn't distinguish him from your enemies. The control takes some getting used to, but once you've mastered it, you'll find that piloting your MDM is very smooth. Experiment with your weapons. Your enemies won't die easily, and many of them require the use of a particular weapon in your arsenal. Become familiar with all your weapons and don't be afraid to use them. This won't be an easy fight. Iron Rain might seem too simplistic for die-hard simulator fans. This is an action game that requires quick wits as well as quick reflexes to be successful. So if the idea of piloting a tank with legs appeals to you, strap in the Iron Rain for your Sega Saturn.
Here's our rating on Iron Rain for the Sega Saturn.
This is the kind of game that really appeals to me. I like the idea of getting in this kind of a powerful armored vehicle and taking things out. The graphics are great and the sound really fits the mood.
Yeah, although they haven't quite figured out how to make a good BattleTech type game, the graphics are really nice, the sound is good, and the game's a lot of fun to play.
Coming up on Twitch, pick up some pointers on getting a job making video games and black music. Chicago White Sox slugger Frank Thomas is one of the most popular players in Major League Baseball. And now the Big Hurt comes to Genesis owners with Frank Thomas's Big Hurt Baseball. They used high-tech equipment to capture all of Thomas's movements, which creates extremely realistic animation. The game doesn't have actual teams, and not many actual Major League players. You get lots of stadium choices, and although they're pretty real, they don't use the real names. You know, it's all about money. You can play exhibition games, an entire grueling MLB season, or focus on the playoffs. There's also a home run derby and a base stealing contest called Clutch Time. The home run and base stealing exercises are great practice. The pre-game options include a fielder adjust mode. This allows the couch potato manager to set up a game plan before his players take the field. The player animation is fluid and realistic, but the rest of the graphics simply do not stack up, even with other Genesis stuff. The music, as usual with Genesis sports titles, is boring. Genesis has never been known for good voice tracks, but these come through pretty well and are always understandable. When you are batting or pitching, you view the game through the eyes of the catcher. When there's a hit, you switch to an overhead view that follows the action wherever it goes. Unlike some other sports games, this one only supports 1 or 2 player games. Oh, there's a battery backup, so it's easy to save a game or a whole season, and you can keep detailed stats. For sports fans still saddled with 16-bit machines, Big Hurt should help pass the time. But in video game standings, Big Hurt is several games out of first place.
Here's our take on Frank Thomas Big Hurt Baseball for the Genesis.
Well, here's another baseball game that falls into the I stink category. The graphics aren't that great, the sound is awful, and the gameplay is too boring.
Yeah, I think the Genesis is pretty much played out at this point. I've seen better games on other systems, and this just doesn't cut it.
All right, here's a Twitch tip for NBA Jam Tournament Edition that takes things to the extreme. Extreme size, that is. It's going to give your players big fat heads.
Showtime!
After picking a team, enter the following code at the tonight's matchup screen. Push circle, X, square, triangle, circle, X, square, triangle, circle, X, square, triangle, circle, X, square, triangle. I've heard of athletes with big heads, but this is ridiculous. Let's bring these guys down a notch or 2 with the baby option. Once again, select your team at the tonight's matchup screen and then enter circle, square, circle, square, circle, square. The only thing we need now is the whining. Now you're gaming with the NBA's best big-headed babies.
I'm checking out the TV golf accessory by Sports Sciences for the Super Nintendo.
It's a simulated golf club that lets you play golf video games with a more realistic feel. Swing the club over a base sensor and the flight path of the ball will appear on your TV.
This thing's designed exactly like a regular golf club. It's got the same kind of shaft, but it's made shorter so you're not knocking things all over your living room. The base is upgradable for different games, but it's best used with PGA Tour golf.
I think if you're an avid golfer, this is a nice accessory for your Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis, especially during a season when you can't go out and golf. If you stink at golf like I do, then I wouldn't bother with it.
I think true golfers are probably going to be the only ones that this peripheral appeals to, and those guys are probably out on the golf course anyway. I can't see anybody really desiring this for their home.
Fighting! Fighting!
Darkstalkers is a fun but lesser-known arcade fighter now available on the Sony PlayStation. The game plays a lot like the Street Fighter series, but the characters are bizarre, gothic, science fiction-style fighters. You'll be able to choose from a cast of strange monsters, from vampires like Dimitri, to Felicia the Catwoman, to a few monsters you've probably never seen before. Each character's story is different, but they all have a common goal: to become Lord of the Darkstalkers. Special moves in this game are executed in much the same way as other Capcom fighters like Street Fighter 2. Half-moon circles from back to forward, forward to back, with punch and kick buttons will get you many special moves. The best way to learn is to play around, discovering new moves sometimes even by accident. Each character has a power move meter, which supercharges their normal magic attacks and changes their color. It's still a standard two-dimensional fighter, but the characters are really interesting and sometimes lots more brutal. The controls are easy to master, so even beginners will get their jollies. You would think with a name like Darkstalkers, this would be a serious game with dark, mysterious graphics and music, but it isn't. There are funny animations and backgrounds all over the place, and even some of the special moves get a laugh now and then. For the hardcore fighting game fan who has followed the Street Fighter saga, this is a must-have game. The techniques are not as difficult as Street Fighter, but the game has so much personality, what's not to like?
Hey, what's up? Hanging out here at Activision, and I'm applying for the position as a game tester. That's right. Basically, it's a job. If you get it, you're well on your way to a budding career in the video game business. But first, you gotta pass the interview. All right, I'm late for my meeting with Dave Arnspiger. This guy does all the hiring around here.
How you doing, Steve? It's nice to meet you.
Oh, hey, man, thanks. I appreciate that.
Oh, gross. Okay. Have a seat.
Yeah, here's my headshot and resume.
Oh, great, thanks.
First question, how much does this gig pay, dude?
We'll talk about that in a little bit after I find out a little more about you. So why do you want to work for Activision?
Sega wouldn't have me.
Okay, what kind of games do you like to play?
Pac-Man, Space Invaders, oh. Is that a fridge? Get something to drink in there? Oh.
Yeah, sure, just to help yourself. So I noticed you don't have a lot of experience. Tell me a little bit about your gaming background.
Dude, I host a video game show.
So what makes you think you're qualified to be a game tester? Is that your answer?
Yeah. Is this gonna take much longer? I need to be down at the beach, man.
No, as a matter of fact, we're done right now. Let me walk you out.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for coming in.
Hey, thanks for seeing me. Hopefully I'll hear from you soon, man. All right. So, Dave, do you actually ever have anybody come in your office and do the things that I just did?
Nobody's ever belched or farted before, but we've had people who can't play games, who don't know anything about games, that come in and try to get the job.
So what do you actually look for in a good game tester?
Somebody who really loves to play the games, somebody who wants to make games and wants to create great games.
Would you have actually hired me?
No.
Okay. That's what the boss has to say, and when we come back, you're going to actually meet some of the guys who made the cut.
Next on Twitch, we'll rate Namco Shooter for the PlayStation and give you loads of codes for...
Hey, we're coming back at you from the game testing room here at Activision to find out the inside scoop on the life of a game tester. Describe the job as a game tester.
Lots of game plan hours, day and sometimes night, sometimes weekends.
At least 8 hours, but sometimes up to 16 or more.
1 week I worked 92 hours. No shower, no brush the teeth, throw the sleeping bag out on the floor over here. And
When you stay here for 3 days straight, getting very little sleep, we all get pretty punchy. In fact, I came to work in a dress one day. It was a pink, beautiful dress.
Very lovely.
I saw it in a thrift store and said, I gotta have that dress.
This is where all the misfits are.
Misfits.
This is probably like the geek or nerd in your high school class.
They ever give you any grief over the 2 earrings?
No, that's the weird thing about Activision is there are people here who have lots of other holes in their bodies.
Tell me about the game tester?
It's very important because...
We have to bitch at the programmers all day telling them what they're doing wrong.
And testers bring a lot of different experience and a lot of important feedback.
You've got all types of people. I was actually a music major.
Well, in my case, hockey player.
Theater.
Senor Antonio. Go to then. You come to me and you say, Shala, we would have manners. You say so. You.
So what did we learn today? If you're a geek, be smart about it. Get paid for it. Be a game tester. Shooter! Shooter! Shooter!
Starblade Alpha is the latest three-dimensional combat spaceflight shoot 'em up from Namco. You're piloting the ultimate space fighter, the Geosword. Your mission is to meet the mechanized planet Red Eye and destroy its power source, the Octopus.
Geosword, come in, Geosword.
The background screen with realistic scenery is all pre-rendered and your flight path is fixed, meaning you have no control over where you're going. But don't worry about navigation, because you'll be blasting the gazillion enemies coming your way. In other words, shoot everything in sight. You'll need to complete a number of difficult missions in order to save the Federation from destruction. The 10 levels that you'll travel through will go by fast. Once you pass the first 3 or 4 levels, things start to get very tough. As the action and speed of the alien attackers increases, your reflexes will really be tested.
Danger. Shield low.
Whenever you're hit by enemy fire, your shield strength will decrease. Be careful. Once your shield strength is gone, the game is over and your mission has failed.
Attack the port, Geosword. I'll attack the starboard. Over.
These graphics are better than the standard polygons in the arcade edition, and Namco has applied texture maps to everything. This gives the game a whole new level of realism. But hey, if you don't care to live in the future, you can play in the original normal mode. The cinema sequences before and during the game help set the mood and pump up the drama of the game. The music is well orchestrated, creating the right feel for fighting.
And is approaching her mother's planet.
So, as you attack the enemy mothership with all your force, avoid missiles in the iceberg control center, and penetrate the octopus power reactor. Remember one thing, the fate of humanity hangs in the balance as you and the Geosword battle the universe in Starblade Alpha.
Good luck, Geosword.
You know, at one time, Starblade Alpha was a great arcade game. It was really high-tech, but I think it's getting a little old.
Yeah, it's getting real old. They've done it twice before. I don't know why they're bothering to put it out again.
Well, just they must have a lack of new titles. I mean, this is surprising from Namco. I'm used to them supplying us with great PlayStation.
But you know what, though? The best part of this game is the end credits after you beat it. I loved them, man.
Well, actually, you know, I think the graphics were improved. It was a good idea for them to texture map the polygons so that they weren't so plain looking. But really, it doesn't change the fact that the game's just boring.
It is. It's really boring. You know, you got your little shooter thing, whatever the heck they want to call it, you know, and you blow up ships.
Yeah,
Big deal.
It's not very fun at all. I don't think I can really recommend this game to anybody. It's going to be a game that you have no replay value out of whatsoever. The graphics may be good and improved over the arcade, but otherwise, pass it up.
Starblade Alpha has some really nice graphics. It's got really good sound, too, and excellent control, but it's really boring.
Are you looking for more challenge from Twisted Metal on the Sony PlayStation? Select one-player contest at the title screen. Then choose options after you pick a car. You'll see the password option at this menu. Here's a code to face 5 enemies in the arena stage. Enter square, triangle, circle, square, square. If you want to make things easier and blow away any who dare to get in your way, enter triangle, space, square, circle, circle, and you'll have unlimited weapons. To be indestructible, enter the invincibility code. Square, triangle, X, space, circle. You didn't really need an excuse to play this game again, now did you? Don't turn that. Here's the Twitch tip recap. To receive 50 lives and no Donkey Kong barrels in DKC 2, start a new game. And at the player select screen, highlight the 2-player contest. hit down 5 times. Music test will appear. When the music test is highlighted, hit down 5 times, and the cheat mode will appear. For 50 lives, hit Y, A, select A, down, left, A, down. For no DK barrels, hit B, A, right, right, A, left, A, X. To adjust player size in NBA Jam Tournament Edition, pick a team and enter the following codes at tonight's matchup screen. For Mammoth Heads, enter this sequence 4 times. Circle, X, square, triangle. For baby players, enter circle, square, circle, square, circle, square. To face 5 enemies in the arena stage of Twisted Metal, enter square, triangle, circle, square, square. For unlimited weapons, enter triangle, space, square, circle, circle. To be indestructible, enter the invincibility code, square, triangle, X, space, circle. Have any secret tips or codes you want to share on Twitch? Email them to us along with your comments at intro@tcinc.com or send us a letter at Intro Television, 4100 East Dry Creek Road, Littleton, Colorado, 80122. On the next Twitch, we'll show you the hot strategy game Virgin Interactive previewed at E3. We'll continue our behind-the-scenes look at who makes video games and review Night Warriors Darkstalkers Revenge.